How y'all doing? How are we? What's up, y'all? I gotta move this over some. Assad! I'm so tired. I literally practiced. I practiced how I was gonna do shit. Got here and forgot how to record a goddamn intro. You know what? Fuck. What am I even doing here, dude? Okay, but for real, can I like not do like yearly vlogs? I like actually used to be good at these. Like I used to be consistent. I used to post regularly. Now look at me. A shell of my former self. A charlatan. A harlot of the interwebian streets. All right, let's get to it, shall we? Last time I spoke to this camera in particular, I was in a different place altogether. That's not just an emotional, mental place, by the way. No, I mean a physical, literal, different place. I was still living in my childhood home back in Florida. Not anymore. Not anymore, bitch. Not anymore. Now I'm not there. But to tell you exactly why, it requires me to tell you a story. Last time I spoke, I was picking up everything from my childhood house and packing it to start a new adventure. While the idea was exciting, it was not as thought out as I tend to like my plans to be. My childhood home was sold. My parents retired and they wanted to live their best life elsewhere, which I was very glad to hear. Like, I was super happy to hear that they wanted to go live their best life. However, when they told me that they were gonna sell the house, it meant I had to figure out what the fuck I was gonna do fairly fucking quickly. Because the implications of them leaving means that I don't have as many options as I did, and the plans that I had made no longer are going to work because I don't have a base of operations. The plans now have to include figuring out where the fuck I'm gonna be. I didn't have much left. The state where I made myself the most comfortable and all that type of jazz was fucking Florida. It's 2022, so, you know, inflation is a thing. Plus, again, it's fucking Florida. It's goddamn expensive. Way too damn expensive to live there. It really is. It really is. I had about 4 months to figure out exactly where the fuck I was gonna go. I had to make decisions, and I had to make it quick. I had to adapt. I do think I can say I spent a fairly reasonable amount of my time in my life adapting. I grew up undiagnosed with autism. It took me a long time to figure that out. But it didn't take me nearly as long to figure out that I wasn't gonna exist very well in your conventional, regular spaces. A lot of the places where people would regularly just exist to, you know, have fun as a kid wasn't really something that I could do. It didn't work for me. It never did. I couldn't figure out why, but I did know that it didn't work. It didn't take nearly as long to figure out I wasn't gonna fit into conventional spaces. Not with ease, at least. So at a young age, I started to pivot away from that. I got really good at not doing things the way everyone else expected. Getting through situations that others would find fairly normal in my own fucking way. Because they didn't know how to do it, but I had to figure it out before I had full, easy access to something like the internet to tell me that I'm like a lot of other people. I didn't have that, so I had to figure it out for my fucking self. I had to adapt. No one could really relate to being the kid who couldn't make friends because I was just weird and certain things just made me very highly upset and logically didn't make sense to me. They didn't understand how these small little inconveniences made me so irrationally upset. And I didn't have the words and the know-how to explain that anytime I feel air flow over my fucking arm, I want to tear my skin off because I hate the feeling so much. I didn't have the words for that. Now I do. It makes me fucking irate, irritated, upset. The spaghettiest of upsettiest, the ravioli is angry. Like, I don't know what else to tell you. I don't like. These things aren't words I had before, but now I do. It took a long time, but I eventually adapted and learned. If I could relate this kind of topic back to anything that I, know really well, it's fucking video games. On stream, playing with friends, anything like that. Anytime people watch me play games, anytime people are with me when I play games, I tend to get clowned on for the way I like to play games. I tend to not pay too much attention to tutorials, especially when it's a dog shit tutorial, but that's beside the point. I prefer to just figure it out, you know? And so I tend to just jump into games and figure it out from there. The moment that fucking NPC 74360 is done talking, I'm immediately jumping, figuring out, running into a wall, doing some real crazy stupid shit to figure out how the fuck things actually work. Because I didn't listen to them. No, I didn't. The moment he stops talking, I'm way more excited. I'm way more interested. I will say, I suspect that this stemmed from two things from my childhood. Reason one is definitely that undiagnosed autism. I would regularly ask for help from trusted adults in my life, and they'd give me the best advice that they could literally muster. Things like, just try doing what they want to do, see how they feel, be yourself. None of those things worked when you're autistic and no one knows it, because instead they just shame you for being a fucking weirdo. Kids are cruel, dude. And it didn't matter how many times I asked my supportive people who were older than me, they didn't understand it, because they couldn't really grasp the concept of,
this kid just doesn't want to go out and play with the other kids like this. Like, what they want to do something weird? Like, what the fuck do they want? I don't know.
Try playing with the other kids.
Why do I always have a fucking light die in the middle of my goddamn recording? I swear to it didn't matter what advice these trusted adults would give me. No matter how perfectly I could follow what they wanted me to do to the T, to the letter, it didn't matter, because it didn't work, because I wasn't normal. And it wasn't going to work for me because it doesn't fit me at all. It didn't make sense. It doesn't logic enough in my little fucking autistic brain for it to do anything. My neurospice wasn't going to let that shit just run. And it didn't sound fair, didn't seem fair, and in all accounts, it didn't feel right. I had to realize that it wasn't worth it. I had to. At some point, I had to be like, this shit ain't it, G. Fuck it. Because either one of two things was going to happen. Either I was going to do everything that they wanted to do, and I was going to hate myself in the process because I didn't like any of it, and it was weird to me, and I wasn't enjoying myself. Or I go sit my ass down somewhere, do my own damn thing. If people came around, they would come because they enjoyed me and what I was doing, and we could bond over that. And I decided that the second one was way more worth my time and my effort. Because if I did it the other way, I would just hate myself. So I decided,
I'm gonna do my own thing.
But it presented its own set of obstacles, because whenever I would do something, I eventually had to realize that I did still have to learn to interact with people in a somewhat normal fashion. And so I practiced with every single interaction I had, and I would try a thing, see if that worked. Was that a positive response? We keep that in mind for next time. We'll do something more like that. And eventually I started to just figure out, as robotic as it might sound, I figured out from previous encounters how to become a better human. Yes, I know that it's masking, but that little bit of masking helped me not feel so alone. Yes, I don't have to mask as much now, but I did a lot. And when I did, it helped. Let's move on to number 2. Something way less depressing. How about them video games? Video games! Fun fact, I've played a lot of video games growing up. I played a lot of a lot of video games growing up. Even more fun fact, a lot of the video games that I loved and enjoyed the most didn't have a lot of your traditional tutorials. A lot of the video games I did play didn't really tell me how to play them. Games like Power Stone, Crazy Taxi, and then my favorite of all time, Mario Kart for the N64. They didn't tell you how to play. You just picked the controller and kind of mucked about until you figured out that some button does some shit. I realized that not everyone played every game that I did, but like for me, these games are what helped make my gaming early years what they were. They never explicitly told me how to play them. I just figured it out. And after a while, I figured out that if I did certain X, Y, or Z with a mechanic, I could go a little bit farther. That's how I learned to play my games. It ingrained those controls so deep within me because I figured them out myself. But then also when they presented me with a new challenge, I felt like I was able to take them on because I had figured out the controls, played with them, and experimented. This mixture of experience and experimentation made it to where it was way more ingrained in me how to beat these things. Like in my brain, it made a lot more sense. And it worked really well with my particular variation of neurospice. It's still to this day my favorite way to engage with media is hand it to me and let me figure it out. Don't tell me what happened. Don't tell me. Let me figure it out. Like, just put it in front of me. Let me play with it. I'll fuck around. I'll die. I will do dumb shit. But the dumb shit then ingrains it in me that this is dumb. Don't tell me. This way of playing games, though, is exactly what makes my neurospice tick. It makes me super excited. It makes it feel like it's an adventure worth embarking on. And in this case, we come back to life. Embark I did. Florida didn't have the resources and opportunities that I was looking for. I had to think. What was I going to do? I needed to figure out what I wanted to do and how I was going to continue doing the things I wanted to do. But I had to kind of figure it out in like 4 months. I had to figure out in 4 months what the fuck I was going to do for the next who knows how many years. Luckily, I knew I could get a job anywhere. I have the ability to do the thing. It's not a question. For the ability to go anywhere and pick up a job anywhere, I had done that because I realized somewhere in high school that it wasn't going to be for me to go to any sort of college. I knew that I could get a job anywhere. That part was fine. But I knew that I wasn't going to be able to technically pick my wage because capitalism is capitalism and etc. etc. You already know that part. I hate capitalism. This did, however, bring me to figure out that I only had a few options. Option one, I could have stayed in Florida. I could struggle. I did have my support system. I could have, but I would have spent a lot of time struggling. I wouldn't have been able to get my own set of legs for myself. I would have been way too busy making money constantly to meet the bare minimum of bills. So with all that, I had to realize Florida's way too damn expensive. I don't have the money for that. I wouldn't be able to spend the time to work on the things I would like to work on. My other option is I could have moved to a different part of Florida with my family. And by my family, I'd be my mom and pops. My mom and dad moved to a different part of Florida. And I could have moved with them. And in doing so, I could have found some job somewhere. I could have existed. And I could have lived with them and continued to work on what I do here. But I would have been doing it under my parents' roof, which, as much as they are very loving, they are very forward thinking, but not in the same way I am and not in the ways that I need them to be for me to grow and have my own life and live my own life in a way that would actually let me grow. It's like keeping a plant in an enclosure. After a while, it will reach the top. It will reach the capacity of that enclosure. I can't do that. I would have also been severed from half of my support systems because, again, they're not close. They are in the fact that I could drive a day to get to them and spend some time with them for a weekend or two. But it wouldn't have been nearly as effective as being 10, 15 miles from them at most. And so, again, I have to say, that kind of sucks. So, that's 2 options down. How about we go for a radical third option? It fucking snows here! It's cold here, it's snowing. I decided in my infinite wisdom to drive 1,300 miles up to fucking the north side, the fucking Midwest, the goddamn Midwest. This isn't it, dude. This isn't it. But it is something that I literally chose to do. It'd be cheap to exist here. And it is something that I can work on the things I want to do without trying to, you know, pay $500,000 every single fucking month. Yeah, that ain't it, G. I want to live how I want and without the judgment of anyone else, without the normality rules that other people expect of me, without the cordial requirements that society tends to put on me. It works for me. It's what I need. And in this case, it's cheap. It's something I can do, and it's something I can do for a little bit. And I can see myself here for a minute. Not because I fucking love everything about it, but at least because it gives me the chance to work on the things I want to work on. I can do whatever I see myself doing for myself. Just as well, I can work on this, that, and the other while I'm here. I can find myself a job that I'm appreciative of, or that at least will do okay. And I can work on everything past that. And that's what we're looking for. My future does not have a version of me that is not being me and truly me. It's not possible. As much as I joke about being a Floridian, I didn't care about Florida. I had people I cared about in Florida, but I didn't love Florida. I never did. So moving somewhere else wasn't the worst thing. It just meant that it was a thing that needed to happen. For me, it's moving forward. As much as I would have loved to have stayed if it was the same prices that existed down there and the same wages that I can get here, I would have stayed in Florida, but it just wasn't viable. There's a possibility for me to do something different and try to see what that does. I did consider going back to California and seeing what I might be able to do out there, but unless I'm Scrooge McFuck, I can't particularly go all the way out there swimming around in cash. If you can, and you like what I'm doing here, please feel free to donate. I will use the money to make cooler shit, I promise. And if I do it enough, I can do this more. So, any oil zaddies in chat? I'm looking for a sugar parental, a glucose guardian. One day I'll have a serious bone in my body. That day's not today. So after about 4 months of planning, I made my way up here. After about 4 more months after that, I had found myself a job, and I had managed to move in with a good friend of mine. And so now we live in the same apartment. And I spent that time immediately afterwards going in and grinding on what I care about. I adapted to the weird-ass hand I was tossed. And the weird-ass hands I'm continuing to be given. I've been adapting. I am doing my literal fucking best. I am trying to make whatever the fuck I can. You know? I really am. And in my eyes, it's made for some really cool shit. Following my fucking spaghetti line of fucking thinking puts you in some weird-ass spots. Like, just straight up, it does. You get weird-ass spots, situations, and scenarios that you didn't think that you'd really get to, but somehow I adapt very well to because I've been in a spot similar, or I've thought about it before. And it's one of the few things that you get from overthinking is you're always ready and you've always been there. It's also one of the things you get when you're autistic as shit, practicing it by A-B fucking logicking. You just run it and you adapt. And it's something that I've done for a long time. Growing up, when I did start to make friends, I was known amongst my friend group as the one who had thoughts and plans for a long time in advance. It's just what I did. It's what I consistently did. It's what I constantly am doing. I always have plans for years in advance, even if I'm not in the spot that I want to be. I plan to be that place here. You know, I'm going to use my time here to do things, positive things. I want to get better and do better for myself. What can I say? I fucking love myself. I spent time working on me. I spent time working on me, my mental health, my physical health, my emotional health, and of course, on top of all of that, I worked on making the content that I've always wanted to make. It wouldn't be a video for me if I didn't say that I want to work on my content. I really, really, really want to bring in a new season of content. So the best way I can think about it is that everything that has been from 2018 and before is a season 0 of sorts. Last time I came up with the idea and started telling you guys about this new season was back when I was still in Florida. So obviously it didn't come out as I wanted it to. I decided I want to make something that I'm very happy with, something that actually shows that I have intent and directive behind what I want. I want to curate a specific feeling.
With that being said, I know for a fact that I'm going to be changing up what we've seen here on the Perk channel. The Chai channel is going to be taking every single one of the old things that I've done from what I consider season 0.
That is my second channel that I've had for VODs for a while now. You guys haven't checked it out? No. That's the picture probably over there, but I actually don't know whether the actual the fucking card is over there or over there. It'll one of these corners. Whatever. Check out the second channel. It's literally very podcasty, let's play type background noise. If you want to throw on someone in the background, it's perfect for that type of situation. Check it out. If it's your style, hit it with a sub. It will always be fantastic vibes. That's honestly what it is. I want to entertain you guys with things I love. Things like gaming, interesting history, and crazy factoids that I found along the way. I want to make things that prove that I can tell stories in ways that people did not expect me to do, I guess.
Even this vlog right now is something that I've never set up before, but it is something that I've wanted to do. I think this is gonna be fucking sick. I honestly think it's gonna be fucking sick. Do I sound pretentious? Because I probably do, but like that's beside the point. I don't love the situation that I'm in. I definitely don't love the state that I'm in, but it does give me an opportunity. And in that opportunity, I'm going to do everything I can to take it the farthest that I can. It's something that I don't know what I'll get into, but I bet you whatever the fuck it is, I'm gonna make it fucking sexy. If I gotta slap a pussy ass nigga, I'm gonna make it look sexy. Shout out to Kendrick. Shout out to Kendrick for that one.
Over the past 6 years or so, I have learned that I am at my fucking gutter tier mentality when I'm not creating, when I'm not making something cool, when I'm not making something that I'm excited about, and when I'm not putting effort into creating shit, I get so sad and so depressed. It is actually terrible. I have realized in the past bit of time that it's just the best. I enjoy making curated experiences. I know that it can be sometimes really difficult to see where all my shit is because I'm not very good at social media. But all of my YouTube will be curated video content for you guys to watch and ingest and entertain and maybe even throw up on your fucking big screen every so often. Hopefully, that's what I'm trying to make. But then if you're looking for my live streams, all the gaming stuff's still here. You guys can still watch the gaming live streams. They will be here. They will consistently be here. That's what they're going to be here for. I want you guys to be able to watch and entertain, and you guys chat with me and tell me that I'm dog shit in real time. But if you guys would like to see more of my bartending and talking with people stuff, that's going to be over on my Twitch channel, and that's where that will continue to be for the foreseeable future. Unless something changes between all of their terms of service and stuff that makes me think that what I originally came up with is not it, that's what they plan. That's exactly what I'm planning for. So this is going to be season 1 of Perk Lane, if you ask me. Season 0 will be its own thing, but this is going to be Perk Lane season 1. I have plans, I have things ready, and I have people I can have help. I plan to invest a lot of time, a lot of energy, and a lot of money into this format. I'm reaching out to so many talented individuals, so many talented entertainers and fantastic people. I want to have them here, and I want to figure some shit out. And I want to make stuff, and I think it's going to be amazing. I can't wait to show you what I can fucking do. I can't wait to show you what I can fucking do. If you're looking to see exactly what type of shit I can do, I'll show you guys the videos that I'm so fucking proud of. Like, one of them is going to show some craziness of me gaming, and then the other one is me talking to you guys in one way or another. All things that has been Perk Lane. It's been real. It's been fun. It's been real fun. Talk to y'all in the next one. Peace.